Now we want to talk about how earthquake damage can be reduced. So the first thing is to have an early warning system. So if we knew that an earthquake was about to occur, then we could warn the public. And for example, you could shut off the gas to your gas stoves to avoid fires. You could make sure that there isn't anything that's going to be breakable that's on shelves, and then you could prepare to take cover. Earthquake preparedness, so knowing what to do during an earthquake. So for example, you're supposed to get underneath a sturdy desk or a door frame or something like that during the middle of a earthquake. Okay, then what about building zoning laws? Well, one, don't build your building on top of a place where you're going to have earthquakes. Well, sometimes that's hard to do, but try to build away from seismic zones. Okay, number two is try to build on ground that is away from cliffs so that you don't have to worry about landslides and rock falls falling onto your building during an earthquake. And then build on bedrock. So one of the problems we had was liquefaction of ground when a building is built on top of soil that has water in it. So that if instead you build your building on top of solid rock, there's going to be less chance that the building is going to be knocked down. Okay, how do we engineer our buildings? So one is to make a flexible building. So if you have a rigid building, then it's going to be more likely to break whenever it's moved back and forth. So they're designing buildings now that will actually sway, and they will absorb the energy of the earthquake, and instead of breaking, they'll just sway back and forth. Okay, another thing is to have braced buildings. So have cross beams connecting all of the struts in the building so that it makes it more solid and less likely to break during an earthquake. They have even put in shock absorbers in the bottoms of earthquake zones at the bottoms of these buildings, so that when the building is moving, it actually is on rollers, and so it's able to actually keep up with the earthquake, and then again that reduces the amount of damage done to the building. You want to avoid using concrete blocks in making your buildings because they're a little bit more unstable, and then using unreinforced concrete and brick. So when you put your bricks down, you're going to want to put rods inside of those bricks so that it's going to hold the bricks better together again during an earthquake. So it's time for our quiz, and so I will see you in just a moment.